me and Simon and Edgar did a bit of press once down in New Zealand, and part of it was they took us to like a shooting gallery.
Oh.
Simon and I do this thing where we pretend that we don't care if the other one wins at sporting events, but inside it really tears each of us up. If I want to wind Simon up, sometimes I'll be like, I don't mind him, to be honest. You know,
He gets a bad press.
kind of liked it.
Apart from when we shot him with Dave, I think he was absolutely fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think he's all right now.
Nick, listen, there's a game that we play on this show with all my favourite guests, and it's called Showbiz Scenarios.
Yeah.
Past victims include Denzel Washington, Liam and Noel Gallagher have both played, and of course, your ride or die, Simon Pegg. When Simon played, he chose you over Tom Cruise and Chris Pine as the person he would have help him with the body in the boot of the car.
I think that's probably a pretty good choice. My brain makeup is such that I thrive in chaos.
Okay.
So I would have a plan and it would work.
Yeah, it's really sinister, but I love it. So it's your turn now.
Yeah.
As a nod to the brilliant new movie, Seize Them, we're going to play the first ever Showbiz Scenarios, the Dark Ages special.
Great.
So I've got 3 hypothetical situations. For each of them, I've got 3 options of a celebrity, someone you've worked with in the past who you could choose to help you. And here's your first one.
Okay.
There's a body under some straw in the back of the cart. Who are you choosing for help and why? Chris Hemsworth, Olivia Colman, or Simon Pegg?
Okay. Usually when it's a cart body, I just do it myself. The less people know anything is better, really. How big is it?
It's a human body. That's
Is
all
it a
I'm gonna
man or a woman?
It's a man.
A big man?
I'm giving too much away. No one's ever asked any
Fine.
follow-up questions. Okay,
Well, but
it's a
you know-
5'11", 12
So
stone
it's a big man.
man.
So I'm going to choose Chris Hemsworth
Chris Hemsworth.
all day long. Yeah, he's a big man. He's also a big man.
He's a big man.
And,
he's a very big man.
He is a big man, and I need a bit of I need a bit of muscle, and yeah, he's to be trusted. He's trustworthy.
He's the big man for you.
Yeah, we
Okay.
already have pre-dug whatever we needed to dig. 5'11", so let's go 6'2", 3 feet down, and then 2 of us in, and then we'll take the cart out of there.
Bish, bash, bosh.
Boom. Yeah.
Done. Okay. You are standing against a tree with an apple on your head. 200 feet away stands one of your co-stars holding a crossbow,
Oh wow.
tasked with shooting the apple from atop your head.
Okay.
Now, they've got to do this without causing injury. Who are you trusting with the crossbow and why? Charlize Theron, Emma Thompson, Simon Pegg.
What kind of apple is it?
It's a
How
Granny
big is the apple?
Smith.
It's a Granny Smith. Okay, fine.
It's a Granny Smithman.
See, now initially I thought Charlize because she's good at stuff like that. You know, we often spend summers shooting apples off each other's heads.
Those long, hazy summers.
Yeah, we call them apple shooting summers. I don't know if anyone else does. But then I thought me and Simon and Edgar did a bit of press once down in New Zealand, and part of it was they took us to like a shooting gallery.
Oh.
And Simon and I do this thing where we pretend that we don't care if the other one wins at sporting events, but inside it really tears each of us up. Top Gear, we were the same for Top Gear.
Right.
And then this shooting thing, he was leading and then I won in the end, which made me feel just great. So, but he was pretty good. So I think in terms of just the nuts and bolts of shooting an apple off a man's head, I'm gonna go for Simon.
Okay, so Simon is wielding the crossbow. Your Showbiz Scenario, Dark Ages special, ends with one of these 3 people has ascended the throne. You are their handmaid. Your duties include putting their armour on, bathing them, tasting their food to check for poison. Which monarch would you rather wait on, hand and foot?
Okay.
You have King Bill Nye, King Bill Bailey, or King Simon Pegg.
Okay. I've always pitched to Bill Nye that we should be steptoe and son, and that I would love to get him in a big butler's sink and cover him in Vim and give him a good old wash. I've always wanted to do this with Bill, and he's never been up for it. So if he ascended to the throne and he wanted me to sit him in a big butler's sink and give him a good scrub, I would honourably, I would love to do that to Bill.
King Bill Nye it is.
In fact, I'd do it even if he wasn't king. If he was just a powerful duke, I'd do it then.
Oh dear, give that man a knighthood and you're going to bathe him.
Oh my God, yeah. That would be his present.
Keeping it movie-based, many years ago, yourself and Simon Pegg joined me on a show I was hosting, and there's no other word for this, but we effectively murdered Jar Jar Binks. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah. Although I think he's making a comeback, right?
Well, I was going to ask, over the kind of 15 years I think it's been, has your opinion of Jar Jar Binks softened in any way as you've matured as a person?
It was always Simon's opinion, really. You
Okay.
know, I got it. I understood why he was so cross, but you know, he's passionate about Jar Jar, and I think the new pro-Binks lobby that is rumbling around is driving him nuts, to be fair. But yeah, if I want to wind Simon up, sometimes I'll be like, I don't mind him, to be honest. You know,
It gets a bad press.
I kind of liked it.
Apart from when we shot him with Dave, I think he was absolutely fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think he's all right now.
That brings us nicely on to your brand new movie, Seize Them,
Yeah.
which is out in cinemas now. A rip-roaring comedy, epic adventure.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about the movie, and then let's talk about your character Bobbick. So first of all, the film, it's set in the Dark Ages.
It is, yeah. It's essentially a road movie where you follow the three main characters. Amy Lou-Wood's character, Queen Dagon, is just an awful queen, and she's horrible to everyone. And she gets overthrown, and she has to go on the run and do things for herself and finds out things about herself. And throughout the film, she just becomes a better person till at the end. She doesn't become reinstated, but she is now, she's learnt a lot, and we've had a lot of laughs on the way discovering her, why she is how she is.
Yeah, because she's an awful human, and then it's through her interaction with, I suppose, peasants and stuff.
Yes.
that we realise she goes on this kind of arc to becoming a better person.
A nicer person, yeah.
And Bobbick is all heart, isn't he? And he's like kind of helping her along the journey.
He is all heart. He's no brains. He's just all heart. He's just a lovely, simple man whose business is the collection of animal feces of all different kinds. And he's fine with that. You know, they built Bobbick. I think this probably says more about me than it does about Bobbick, but they built Bobbick a little, what would you call it, like a hovel? Like his house. It was just like a tent made of wood. But I found myself sitting there on my own during lunches and stuff.
It's not your birthday again,
I'd be all right. I was like, this is all right, because it was raining. We're on the top of a mountain. And it was really nice. I really, I can say, well, that was me getting into character for Bobbick, but I just like sitting in like a little hovel. It was good.
Well, you're like saying to the props guys, could you build me one of these at home?
I'll be fine here. It's fine. You go and have lunch. I'll be good.
Was it fun playing in that kind of Dark Ages environment though, as an actor?
Yeah, it was great. Me and Lolly and Amy really got on, and the crew were great, and Curtis, the director, was lovely, and Andy, who wrote it, I've known for a long time. Not every film. You don't have to like everyone to enjoy for the film to be good. Do you know what I mean? But this was one of those rare things where everyone got on. The weather was amazing. The crew were great. The catering was good, and we just hung out in Wales on the mountains or on the beaches, and we just made a really nice film, and had a laugh, and it was great.
Well, I think that kind of camaraderie and the fact you all got on, it comes through the screen, man.
Yeah, it's a nice film. It's a really, it's if you go and watch this and you come out hating it, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, okay. It's on you, not on us.
It's on you. It's not on us. It's just a lovely, nice film that it's the right time for it.
Listen, it is always so lovely to see you, and it's always great spending some time in your company. You are the last guest ever to be interviewed here at One Golden Square, which, when you look around...
I'm glad, because it's a if I'm honest, and it stinks. Yeah, it feels like an insurance scam, if I'm honest. It's going to go up in flames and someone will make a lot of money.
I was going to ask you for some touching words, but I think you've just nailed it.
That's it. It's a shithole. Good luck, guys.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much indeed, Nick. Seize Them is out in cinemas right now. I recommend you go and see it. It's a rip-roaring adventure. It's very funny. And, of course, Nick, you're fantastic in it. Give it up for our friend Nick Frost.
Thank you for having me.
Nice
Cheers, guys.
one, Nick.
Thank you.